If you're a man over 60, you probably noticed it. That subtle shift in your energy, the slower starts in the morning, the longer time it takes to recover. It's not weakness, it's biology. As we age, our body's natural chemistry changes. Energy isn't as abundant. Vitality feels like it fades quietly, and performance in all areas of life can start to feel like something we remember rather than something we live. But the truth is, aging doesn't mean fading. Not even close. In fact, with the right tools, this can be your most powerful decade yet. The key is giving your body the right kind of fuel, simple, natural sources of strength that work with your system, not against it. And believe it or not, some of the most powerful support comes from what's sitting right in your kitchen cupboard. Nuts. Not just any nuts, but 3 specific kinds that hold the blueprint for stronger energy, sharper focus, and better performance. Let's start with the first one, walnut. These aren't just good for your heart, they're excellent for your brain. Packed with omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, walnuts have been shown to support memory, reduce inflammation, and even help stabilize mood. And when your brain is firing on all cylinders, your body follows. You feel more focused, more present, and more capable. That's not just mental, it's hormonal too. Then there's Brazil nuts. Just 2 of these a day deliver a powerful dose of selenium, a trace mineral that most men over 60 are lacking without realizing it. Selenium supports testosterone production, thyroid function, and even improves sperm health. But beyond the biology, what that really means is this: more drive, more clarity, and better performance where it matters most. It's nature's quiet upgrade, restoring balance where age can create gaps. The third powerhouse, pistachios. These little green gems are more than just delicious. They're loaded with plant-based protein, vitamin B6, and potassium nutrients that help with energy metabolism, blood flow, and muscle function. But perhaps most fascinating, studies suggest pistachios may even help improve endothelial function. That's the lining of your blood vessels. That means better circulation, stronger erections, and more stamina without a prescription. When you combine these 3 nuts, walnuts, Brazil nuts, and pistachios, you're not just snacking, you're fueling a transformation. A daily handful can quietly shift your entire system, supporting your hormones, circulation, focus, and endurance. And the best part, it doesn't require a complete lifestyle overhaul or an expensive supplement plan. Just a conscious choice to support your body with what it needs, consistently, naturally, and intelligently. You see, performance after 60 isn't about trying to be who you were it's about becoming the strongest version of who you are right now, with deeper wisdom, greater presence, and a body that still has so much to give when given the right care. So the next time you reach for a snack, make it one that gives back. Nature has already done the hard work. Now it's your move. You're not slowing down. You're just getting started. Energy. It's something we don't really think about when we're younger. We wake up, we move, we act, we push without question. But for many men over 60, energy starts to feel like a distant memory. It doesn't hit like it used to. Morning routines become slower, afternoons heavier, and the motivation to stay active can start slipping quietly away. But here's the truth that most men don't hear often enough. Energy isn't just for the young. In fact, the body still has enormous capacity to generate, sustain, and expand energy at any age, when it's given the right kind of support. The good news is that nature, in its quiet wisdom, has already created some of the most powerful energy boosters on Earth. And they're not locked behind a pharmacy counter, or hidden inside expensive powders or complicated supplements. They grow on trees, literally. Certain nuts have been used for centuries in traditional cultures to support stamina, strength, and clarity. But science is now catching up and showing us how these small, unassuming foods pack a powerful punch, especially for men in their golden years. What's fascinating about these natural boosters is how well they align with the needs of an aging male body. After 60, the body doesn't just need more energy, it needs smarter energy. It needs fuel that supports not just the muscles, but the mind, the hormones, the nervous system, and even the heart. Energy isn't just about being awake or physically strong, it's about mental clarity, emotional balance, and sustained vitality. That's the kind of energy that changes the way you live your day, and nuts have the chemistry to deliver exactly that. Take walnuts, for instance. They're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, essential fats that the body can't produce on its own, but desperately needs to maintain brain health and lower inflammation. Inflammation is one of the hidden energy drainers in aging bodies. It doesn't scream, it quietly wears you down. Omega-3s work like internal repairmen, soothing that silent inflammation, restoring cellular health, and protecting the brain from fatigue, brain fog, and mood swings. Just a handful of walnuts a day can support sharper thinking and a lighter, more energized mood. Then there's the selenium-rich Brazil nut. Most men don't even realize how crucial this mineral is to how they feel each day. Low selenium levels are linked to low testosterone, sluggish thyroid function, and weaker immune response. In simple terms, less motivation, lower energy, and slower recovery. But here's what's powerful: just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day can reverse that. Just 1 or 2. That's not just nutrition, that's transformation through consistency. And don't forget the humble pistachio. These vibrant green nuts contain vitamin B6, a key player in energy metabolism. Without B6, your body can't effectively convert food into usable energy. Pistachios also provide protein, potassium, and amino acids that support muscle strength, circulation, and even deeper sleep. It's not about quick spikes in energy, it's about fueling your system so it works better, longer, more efficiently. That's real energy, the kind that lasts beyond the caffeine crash or sugar rush. What makes these nuts special isn't just their nutrient profile, it's how accessible they are. They don't require fancy recipes or preparation. They're portable, easy to digest, and work synergistically with your system to replenish what time tries to take away. They don't just keep your body moving, they help you feel like yourself again, more vibrant, more alert, more alive. So if you're looking to boost your energy without relying on stimulants or synthetic fixes, look to nature. The solution isn't always in a bottle, sometimes it's in your hand, waiting to be enjoyed, waiting to nourish you from the inside out. The real secret to more energy after 60 isn't pushing harder, it's feeding smarter. Testosterone. For men, it's more than just a hormone, it's drive, it's strength, it's clarity, confidence, and presence. And as the years pass, many men begin to feel a quiet shift, less fire in the belly, less stamina, slower recovery, and a certain fog that seems to settle over both body and mind. What's important to understand is that these changes are not signs of weakness. They are signals that the body's internal chemistry is adjusting with age. And one of the biggest shifts happening under the surface is a gradual drop in testosterone. Now, many men go looking for quick fixes, pills, patches, injections. While they may offer short-term results, they often come with long-term risks. The truth is, there's a better way. There are natural tools that work with your body rather than against it. Solutions that don't force your system into imbalance, but instead nourish it gently and effectively. Among these tools, food specifically, certain nutrient-rich nuts can play a surprisingly powerful role in supporting testosterone levels naturally. You see, testosterone production isn't just about your age, it's about whether your body has the raw materials it needs to build that hormone. Like any factory, if the ingredients are missing, the product slows down. The modern diet, stress, poor sleep, and even environmental toxins can all rob a man's body of those vital materials. That's where specific nuts come in, not just as snacks, but as fuel for your hormonal engine. Take Brazil nuts, for example. Just 1 or 2 per day can dramatically increase your intake of selenium, a trace mineral that plays a direct role in testosterone synthesis. Low selenium levels have been linked to reduced sperm quality, low libido, and poor thyroid performance, all of which are connected to hormonal imbalance. What's beautiful about selenium is that it doesn't force testosterone production, it supports the glands responsible for producing it, especially the testes and the thyroid, which must be functioning well to keep hormonal levels steady. But it doesn't stop there. Zinc is another critical mineral for testosterone health, and it's found in nuts like cashews and almonds. Zinc is like the spark plug in your hormone engine. Without it, testosterone drops, stress hormones rise, and your energy tanks. And unlike synthetic testosterone, zinc helps regulate your body's own production, meaning you maintain balance, not dependency. Then there's fat. For years, men were told to avoid fat, but the reality is that healthy fats are essential to hormone production. Testosterone is literally made from cholesterol. Good fats, the kind found in walnuts, almonds, and pistachios, provide the foundation for hormonal health. They keep your cells responsive, your heart healthy, and your system in a state of balance. Without enough of these fats, testosterone has nowhere to go. It's like trying to build a house without bricks. Beyond the nutrients, there's something almost ritualistic about including these foods in your daily life. When you eat with purpose, when you nourish your body consciously, you activate more than just your metabolism. You begin to reclaim agency over your health. And that mental shift alone, feeling in control, aligned with your body, can raise your energy, your confidence, and yes, your testosterone. So if you've been feeling a little off, a little less like yourself, don't reach for a prescription right away. Look at your plate. Ask yourself what your body's been missing. Chances are the building blocks are right there in nature. Unprocessed, simple, and profoundly effective. You don't need to fight your age. You need to fuel your age. Because the goal isn't to be 30 again. It's to feel strong, vital, and fully present at 60 and beyond. And your hormones, they're ready to support that if you support them first. As the years go by, most men begin to notice subtle changes, not just in their bodies, but in how their minds feel. You might forget names a little more often, feel foggy in the morning, or even find it harder to focus through the day. At the same time, the heart might start to feel a little more tired. Blood pressure rises. The body doesn't recover the way it used to. What many don't realize is that these two areas, your heart and your brain, are deeply connected. One affects the other more than we've ever been taught. And if you want to feel strong, sharp, and energized after 60, you need to nourish both at the same time. Your brain runs on oxygen and blood flow, and your heart is the engine that sends that oxygen-rich blood to every part of your brain. When your heart health begins to decline, your brain is one of the first places to feel it, not in a dramatic way, but in the small daily moment. Forgetting why you walked into a room, struggling to find words, feeling mentally drained halfway through the afternoon. These aren't just aging, they're signals that your cardiovascular system and your cognitive function are out of sync. But here's the good news. The right nutrients, taken consistently, can strengthen both your heart and your brain at the same time, not through complex supplements or expensive treatments, but through natural, simple foods that deliver exactly what your body needs. Certain nuts, for example, are some of the most powerful allies for this connection. They may seem small, but they contain a wealth of compounds that enhance blood flow, protect memory, reduce inflammation, and support overall vitality. Walnuts are a prime example. Often called brain food, they actually look like a human brain, and nature rarely gives us those hints by accident. Walnuts are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which are known to reduce inflammation in both the heart and brain. These fats help lower triglycerides, improve blood vessel function, and keep your arteries flexible so that blood flows freely, not just through your chest, but through the deepest parts of your brain. That means more oxygen, more nutrients, and better cognitive performance, clearer thinking, sharper recall, even a better mood. Pistachios also play a powerful role here. They contain antioxidants like lutein and polyphenols that help reduce oxidative stress, a silent culprit behind both heart disease and cognitive decline. And they support endothelial function, which is a fancy term for how well your blood vessels relax and expand. That translates to better circulation, steadier blood pressure, and improved nutrient delivery to your brain. It's not just about heart health. It's about clarity, focus, and staying mentally present. There's also magnesium, a mineral that many older men are deficient in without even knowing it. Magnesium helps regulate heartbeat, calm the nervous system, and support neurotransmitter function. Almonds, cashews, and hazelnuts are rich in this often overlooked mineral. When your magnesium levels are optimal, your heart rhythm becomes steadier, your mind feels calmer, and your sleep becomes deeper, all critical for long-term vitality. What's truly remarkable is how easily these foods can be woven into your life. A small handful each day, not a big change, not a complicated process, but over time, that small step can lead to big shifts in how you feel, how you think, and how you live. Because when your heart is strong, your brain is sharp, and when your brain is sharp, you move through life with more energy, more purpose, and more control. So don't separate the heart from the mind. They are two parts of the same system, constantly communicating, constantly supporting one another. Nourish one, and you uplift the other. And as a man over 60, when you care for that heart-brain connection, you're not just extending your life, you're enhancing the quality of every day you have. There comes a point in life when the pace naturally slows. The mornings aren't quite as fast, and the energy we used to take for granted
feels a little more distant. And in those moments, it's easy to believe that vitality is something you leave behind in you. But the truth is, vitality isn't about age. It's about rhythm. It's about the small choices you make each day, conscious decisions that shape how you feel, how you think, and how you live. That's where daily rituals come in, not habits. Intentional acts of self-care that anchor your mind, nourish your body, and help you meet the day with strength and clarity. Men over 60 don't need more hustle. What they need is restoration, a structure that supports them, a rhythm that aligns with where their body is now, not where it used to be. That means starting the day, not with chaos or caffeine, but with calm, grounded nourishment. Something as simple as waking up, drinking a glass of water with lemon, taking a few deep breaths, and having a handful of specific nuts not only boosts energy and hormones, but signals to your body, I'm here and I'm taking care of you. The beauty of these rituals is that they build momentum. When you consistently start your day with purpose, even a small one, your body begins to respond, energy levels begin to stabilize, digestion improves, focus sharpens, and most importantly, you begin to feel connected to yourself again. So many men over 60 spend years taking care of others, pushing through work, providing, solving problems, but forget how to take care of themselves. Rituals are a return to that, a return to balance. One powerful daily ritual is incorporating a mix of walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts into your morning or midday routine. You're not just snacking, you're giving your body essential nutrients it needs to function well. Walnuts nourish the brain, pistachios support circulation and muscle function, and Brazil nuts feed your hormones. Over time, your system begins to operate more efficiently, and what once felt like fatigue starts to fade into steady, grounded energy. But rituals don't stop with what you eat. Movement is another pillar. A 20-minute walk each morning without distractions, just you and your thoughts, isn't about burning calories. It's about circulation. It's about presence. It's about getting your blood flowing, your joints moving, and your nervous system relaxed. That simple walk, done consistently, can do more for your longevity and mood than a bottle of supplements ever could. And just as important is how you end your day, unplugging from stress, turning off screens, sitting quietly for a few minutes, and letting your body unwind. Maybe a light stretch, maybe a cup of herbal tea, maybe just silence. These rituals aren't about discipline. They're about devotion, a quiet agreement with yourself that you are worth the time, the care, and the consistency. What's powerful about rituals is how they compound. The first few days, you may not feel much, but after a few weeks, you start to notice you're sleeping better, you're thinking clearer, you're reacting to stress with more calm, and perhaps most importantly, you're living with more intention. Vitality isn't just in the body, it's in the way you carry yourself, in the way you move through the world. So if you've been feeling disconnected from your energy, your strength, or even your sense of self, don't try to fix it all at once. Just begin a ritual, something small, something sacred, something that says, I choose to thrive. Because at this stage in life, vitality isn't about going faster, it's about going deeper. And with the right rituals, you'll find not only your energy returning, but a part of yourself you may have forgotten was still there. When most people hear the word performance, they think of physical strength, muscles, gym routines, lifting weights, or running miles. But real performance, especially for men over 60, is about far more than what happens in the gym. It's about how you show up in your daily life, how clearly you think, how steadily you move, how deeply you sleep, and how connected you feel to yourself and those around you. It's not about six-pack abs or high-intensity workouts. It's about sustaining energy, focus, confidence, and vitality in the areas that matter most. After 60, the body speaks in quieter tones. It asks for recovery. It wants nourishment, not punishment. The old mindset of push harder becomes less effective and even harmful. Instead, real performance becomes a game of support, supporting your joints, supporting your hormones, supporting your emotional resilience, and most importantly, supporting your inner fire, the one that still wants to explore, to love, to create, to lead. So what does that support look like? It begins with your internal chemistry, and one of the simplest, most powerful shifts you can make is giving your body the nutrients it needs to keep running smoothly. That's where nature once again steps in. Specific nuts, like pistachios, Brazil nuts, and walnuts, are not just healthy snacks, they're biological allies. They provide the raw materials your body craves to maintain circulation, regulate hormones, and restore energy at a cellular level. For example, pistachios aren't just delicious, they contain compounds that support blood vessel health. That matters because proper blood flow is at the heart of physical performance, not just in the gym, but in the bedroom, at the dinner table, and during quiet moments of connection. Circulation affects everything: your energy, your sleep, your mood, even your intimate. And good circulation is a sign that your entire system is working in harmony. Brazil nuts offer a different kind of performance support. Their high selenium content supports testosterone production and thyroid health. When testosterone is balanced, you feel there's a spark again, clearer thoughts, stronger drive, better recovery. You're more present in conversations, more motivated in your purpose, and more engaged in your relationships. It's not a miracle, it's biology, fed the right way. And walnuts, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, help reduce inflammation and protect brain function. Why does that matter for performance? Because when your mind is sharp, your decision-making improves. Your reactions are quicker. You carry yourself with a sense of grounded awareness. That's performance too, not in reps or sets, but in life's daily moments. What's most important to understand is that performance at this stage of life is no longer about competition. It's about capacity, the capacity to enjoy your life fully, to move without pain, to sleep deeply, to wake up with purpose, to love with presence, to think clearly and speak with confidence. That's performance. And you don't need to chase it in a gym. You build it day by day, through conscious choices, consistent nourishment, and respect for the body that's carried you this far. You've already proven yourself. You've put in the years. You've shown your strength in work, in family, in adversity. Now it's time to turn that strength inward, to support your body like it's supported you, to feed it, move it, and rest it with intent. When you do, performance doesn't disappear. It evolves. It becomes something deeper, steadier, more sustainable. And that's the kind of performance that doesn't fade with age. It grows with wisdom. As we age, we become more careful about what we eat. We pay attention to labels, to ingredients, to nutrients. We start to choose foods with purpose, supplements with precision, and routines with intention. But here's something many men over 60 don't realize. It's not just about what you eat. It's about what your body actually absorbs. Because even the healthiest food, the most expensive vitamins, or the best supplements, won't do much good if your body isn't absorbing them effectively. Absorption is everything. It's the silent link between eating well and feeling well. And the truth is, the older we get, the more our digestive efficiency starts to decline. Enzyme production slows, gut lining changes, nutrient transport becomes less effective. You might be putting great fuel into your body, but if your system isn't pulling those nutrients into the bloodstream and getting them where they need to go, you're not reaping the full benefits. This is where so many men get frustrated. You eat the salad, you take the supplement, you try the superfoods, but you still feel tired. You're still bloated, still foggy. That's not a failure on your part. It's a message that your body isn't broken. It just needs support in how it processes and utilizes what you're giving. The good news is that nature once again has a solution. Certain foods, especially specific nuts, are not only nutrient rich, but also incredibly bioavailable, meaning your body recognizes them, digests them easily, and converts them into usable fuel. Brazil nuts, for instance, contain selenium in a form your body absorbs exceptionally well. You don't need a capsule with a long ingredient list. Just one or two of these naturally rich nuts delivers a dose of selenium that your body knows exactly what to do with. Walnuts contain omega-3s, not in fish oil form, but in a plant-based structure that your body can break down and utilize to reduce inflammation, improve brain function, and support hormone balance. The healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants in walnuts also help feed the good bacteria in your gut, bacteria that play a critical role in breaking down food and enhancing absorption. And then there are pistachios. They don't just contain powerful nutrients. They support your body in processing those nutrients. They're rich in fiber and prebiotics, which feed the microbiome, enhance digestion, and reduce inflammation. in the gut lining. When your gut is healthy, your entire body works better. Energy improves, mood stabilizes, nutrients get delivered where they're needed. It's all connected. What's also important to understand is that the form in which you consume nutrients affects how well they're absorbed. Chewing whole, natural foods, rather than relying solely on powders or pills, activates your digestive enzymes. It slows you down. It signals to your brain and body, we're about to nourish ourselves. That conscious physical act of eating whole foods, like nuts, triggers a better digestive response, which leads to improved absorption and better overall health. This is why daily rituals matter so much. When you make a habit of consuming these nuts, not occasionally but consistently, you train your body to expect nourishment. You support your digestion, you restore balance to your gut, and you make sure that the nutrients you consume are actually being used to build strength, fuel your cells, support your hormones, and energize your mind. At this stage in life, the focus isn't just on adding more things to your diet, it's about making the most of what you already give yourself. When you prioritize absorption, everything else starts to fall into place. You feel the difference. You think more clearly. You recover faster. You move with more freedom, because it's not just about what you take in. It's about how fully your body receives. And that's where lasting vitality begins, from the inside out.